For the past year, the bloodbath in West Asia has been going on, but now at a time when the Iranians and the Israelis have locked horns, the United Nations has warned the world of a bloodbath in the history of West Asia. In the following report, we decode how much blood has been shed here. Take a look.
Since the October 7 terror attack on Israel, one of the world's worst humanitarian crises in decades is unfolding in Gaza. A United Nations report says the ongoing war has reduced Gaza's economy to less than 1/6 its size in 2022. %96 of Gaza's agricultural assets, including farms, orchards, irrigation systems, machinery and storage facilities, are decimated. The enclave's food production capacity is crippled. 82% of the businesses are damaged or destroyed, and 200,000 Palestinians have lost their jobs. Gaza's Ministry of Health says Israeli attacks have killed over 41,000 Palestinians. Thousands are either buried under rubble or threatened by illness. The war has ignited global tensions and insecurity. Military budgets have exploded over the past year. The Stockholm International Peace Research Institute says military spending in West Asia shot up 9% last year. Israel's military spending, the second largest in the region after Saudi Arabia, grew 24% to reach $27.5 billion in 2023. Thousands of Israeli reservists have been called up, uprooting them from their jobs and their families. Israeli society is divided on the government's war strategy. Many want the focus to be on the hostages held in Gaza rather than the defeat of Hamas. S&P has revised Israel's fiscal deficit projections, expecting it to reach 9% GDP in 2024 before gradually decreasing to 6% in 2025. The conflict has led to a broader economic slowdown, affecting key sectors like tourism, construction and agriculture. While Israel's high-tech exports provide some resilience, overall growth forecasts for 2025 are down to 2.2% from 5%. S&P has highlighted that while Israel's balance of payments is a strength, the conflict poses long-term risks. Israel's reserves reached $217 billion as of August 2024, providing a buffer against external shocks. However, if military tensions escalate, particularly with Iran, the outlook for Israel's economy could worsen. Oil prices climbed over 3% on Wednesday as Israel and the United States vowed retribution over Iran's biggest ever direct attack on Tel Aviv. Iran's oil output rose to a 6-year high of 3.7 million barrels per day in August. At present, Iran accounts for about 4% of global oil output. In case of further escalation, there are concerns that Iran could block the Strait of Hormuz or attack Saudi infrastructure, as it did in 2019. The strait is a choke point through which a fifth of daily oil supply passes. When it comes to military turf, Iran has spent over $10.3 billion in 2023. That's a 0.6% increase from 2022. Tehran says it does not want war, but will respond to Israeli aggression if the need arises.
If they removed their evil from this region, without a doubt, these conflicts, these wars,
these clashes will disappear completely. The countries of the region can manage themselves, manage their region, live together in peace, health and well-being.
In another escalation of the conflict, the Israeli military on Wednesday sent regular infantry and armored units to join ground operations in southern Lebanon against the Hezbollah group. Lebanese authorities say the recent exchange of fire has killed 1,000 people and forced over 1 million to flee their homes. A Fitch review says prolonged cross-border attacks between Hezbollah and Israel will cause the Lebanese economy to contract by up to 5% in 2024. This is mainly because significant physical damage and the displacement of thousands of residents will cause economic activity in most sectors to halt in the south and Bekaa areas that make up 1/3 of Lebanon's population and labor force.
We're looking at tens of thousands, but we expect that those figures will start to rise. And as I said earlier on, there was already significant displacement from the south even before this latest escalation. So the situation is extremely alarming. It's very chaotic, and we are doing what we can to support the government.
The Israeli military carried out air attacks on Yemen last month. The IDF reportedly used dozens of military aircraft, including fighter jets and refueling planes, to attack seaports and power plants used to import oil for military use by the Houthis. The strategic port of Hodeidah, where most of the beleaguered country's imports come in, was hit, as were the Ras Khatib, Al-Hali and Corniche power stations and the main oil terminal at Ras Isa near the port of Al-Salif. Millions are affected after the power stations that feed multiple governorates were damaged. The attacks could potentially lead to a fuel shortage in the short term as well, since the Ras Isa terminal is a major hub used by the Houthis.